Hey guys, Richie here from RW Hobbies. Welcome back for my December bench update. So busy time of the year, just in general, and thought I'd sneak in this quick little update to close out the year, and we'll be back in January with my next one. So, one in progress, one completed build since we last spoke, I believe. A few purchases down here to share with you, and we'll do a quick run around the Facebook group, I think. So that's kind of the game plan for today. Short and sweet kind of video. So first of all, let's change up a bit. Let's talk about what I purchased, because that'll segue into nicely into what I've been working on here. So 3 kits I've got, and actually I feel like I've got a 4th, but I'm racking my brain here and I can't figure out what that 4th is. I just feel like I bought something else, but maybe not. Looking for the stash there. But as you guys have probably seen, this guy, the F-35 from Tamiya, just arrived about a week ago. Been super busy this week, so I've not really done much on it, as you'll see in a minute. But yeah, wasn't that excited about this one until I got the kit, looked at the plastic, and looked at some of the schemes I'm going to do, and I'm totally jazzed about it now. I'm really excited, enjoying working on it. The little I've done so far, but it's great kit, and it's typical Tamiya from thus far, from what I've seen. You know, plastic's beautiful, it goes together well, and no problems at all. Now, I think a lot of hang-ups with people with this one, as I mentioned before, is the boring kind of grey colours. Well, there's aggressive scheme out there, and Caracal Decals brought out decals for the 65th aggressive version. If I remember, I put a picture up, and it's just a little bit Spencer camo, and it looks pretty awesome. So that's what I'm doing mine in, for sure. I definitely think I'm going to pick up 1 or 2 more of these and do some different schemes. Because you're getting pretty 9 countries on here, everywhere from US to Australia to Israel to Netherlands, Korea, all kinds of different versions, Japan. So plenty of scope on this one. And this, as you see my review and my build series I'm working on right now, there's actually a lot of different configurations and stuff you can do too. There's 3 different versions. You can do a stealth mode, you can do air-to-air mode, or you can do a beast mode where you have all the pylons on and follow ordnance, that kind of stuff. So tons of options and different variants you can do, and it doesn't look so bad. I mean, the main thing, as always, with F-22s and these F-35s is are the ram detail, and it's often overdone. Now, this is, you know, for sure it's overdone scale-wise, but it doesn't look so bad. So compared to all the ones I've seen, whether it be the Hasegawa, F-22, or the I Love kit, which I built earlier this year. You've seen the build series of that one. Meng, Kitty Hawk. This one definitely looks the best. On pictures, it looks a little kind of, I was a little apprehensive, looks a little gnarly, but again, it looks okay to the eye. I think on the shelf, it's going to look pretty good. So super excited about this one. So we'll talk about more in a minute when I go through my in progress, but definitely started this one, and this is on my Patreon. Probably, as I'm so busy with Christmas, it'll probably be a couple of weeks and I'll get the first part up. I've literally just started painting the first few parts now. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take. It's probably not so much. There's a lot of plastic in the box, but I was probably maybe a 5 or 6 part build series on this one with, again, the aggressive markings. So this is the first pickup, and while I was at it, the place I'd buy it from to get a good price, they have a minimum order of $100, so I had to add a few other things on there. So I picked up this guy, which I might do a review as well. It's not a new kit by any means, but it's Tamiya's F-16, the aggressive version. We've got a theme going here, right? Aggressors. Just a really cool kit. I built a few of these, not the aggressive one, but there's several different boxings of this Tamiya F-16 48 scale. And I built a few in the past. I think when I first got back into modeling, I built one. And yeah, they're great kits. They go together really well. I think now my modeling skills are a little bit better than they were like 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm looking forward to building another one, and probably in those kind of that markings, which I'm thinking about. Straight out of the box. So yeah, that beautiful Tamiya kit, another 48 scale. And being an F-16 is not massive. I do have, probably off camera, I'm seeing where it is. I don't know if you can see it right in the corner. That's the 32nd scale one, which is a beautiful kit. One of the Holy Grail kits. A lot of work goes into it. Goes together really well. Just a lot of work. I think I spent like 40 hours on the ordnance alone. So you know, it's a high price point, but as often the case, you're getting a lot for your money, because it takes several weeks / months to build that guy. So F-16 Tamiya. Now, as I'm dropping everything, the last one, which actually just arrived from Japan, probably about an hour ago, for DHL. It's something I pre-ordered back in May, I think, and it just finally got my hands on it, just got released. It's something completely different for me, but I kind of like different subjects, and it just gives you a break. If you build the same thing over and over, I kind of lose a little of the mojo, where if you throw in little different projects here and there, like some sci-fi and stuff, it kind of breaks things up. And don't know anything about this subject, so I'll tell you right now, it's 1/20th scale, Maycross 40th, a VF 25G, Michael Blanc's fighter, and it's the nose. So it's a 12 scale basically nose of this this aircraft. And again, it's something different. A 20th scale, basically nose section of an aircraft. Obviously, it's a it's it's a fantasy project, like Japanese anime, I guess. But it just looked really cool. It's what brand is it? It's Max Factory, and they brought a few of these out in the past, and I just thought these are really hard. I don't think they'll make many, but they're really hard to get hold of. These are very popular, so hence why I pre-ordered it and got one for my stash, because kind of like I got the Battleship Yamato as well, and this one, it's just a few different projects and something a little bit different. So I'm definitely going to do a review of this one next couple of days or so and get up on the channel, and it's something very different. So again, you just get a nose section on this, and it's 20th scale, which is kind of like an unusual scale as well. Spray gunner, one of my favorite, well, they are my favorite airbrush places to go to. Just great service, great prices, and they had some specials. I put on my Facebook group, but I think by now it's probably expired. But they had some Procon Boy airbrushes. I use Procon Boy. This is a platinum one, 0.3 needle, PS 289. They had some without boxes for whatever reason, and so I got this one for. It was on sale for $90. Sorry, for $100. I think normally like $120 plus tax and shipping and stuff. And I had another. They had a Christmas coupon which had expired by Christmas Eve, and that's another 10% off. So I got this. Well, no, maybe it's $10 off. I can't remember. But long story short, I got it for $90. So I got a brand new Procon Boy airbrush, platinum one, $90 US dollars, shipped to my house, free shipping. No tax, because it's from Florida, and yeah, so I snapped that one. They had 0.2 needles in the regular one for $80 with the box, and so if you took 10% off that one too, it would have been like $72, which is a great price. Great airbrush, use these for years. I've used them for 5+ years. I love them, have several, and they lasted pretty well. I use them every day. I like to have a separate one for metallics. I have one for, I used to have one for lacquer, one for acrylic paints. Now I don't really use acrylics, so really just lacquer paints. But I really like the brushes. It's great, hard wearing. But what I find is, every 2 or 3 years when you need to change the nozzle and a needle, by the time you buy a nozzle and needle, they're like $50 for a nozzle and needle. Nozzle and needle about $50 for the set, maybe 40, 45. So rather than doing that, what I do is my used airbrushes, I just sell on eBay, and they command a really good price. So every couple of years I sell my old airbrushes. I know, maybe get 60, 70 bucks for them, and just buy a brand new one and just switch it up that way. It actually works more cost effective that way. Plus you get a brand new airbrush every 2 or 3 years. But yeah, great airbrushes. I've got all kinds of videos on the channel about the airbrushes I use, but the Procon Boy, the PS 289. I do like the 0.3 needle as well, better than the 0.2. Just a little bit more easier and forgiving with paint mixes and that kind of stuff. So I picked that up. That just literally arrived today in the mail as well. And the final things, going back to my F-35 and my F-16, a couple of things added to the order were some Gator Grip glue. Now, my old Gator Grip, I've had this probably for close to 5 years. Really good PVA glue, great for canopies. Actually, the thin blend's actually really good for photo etch as well, or it's really good actually for the nowadays for the Quinta Studio stuff. Best PVA glue out there by far, and I haven't seen them for a while. And where I got my kits, they actually sold them, so I got them. I've got both. I bought the thin blend and original blend, and they come now in a way different container. Before they came in just this guy, now they come in like a squeezable, much easier to use bottles. So yeah, so Gator Grips PVA glue. So again, best I've used. Better than I think I've got here Micro Crystal Clear, same kind of thing. But again, this guy's just always done better for me, and it works great too. Just, I mean, yeah, any clear parts, that kind of stuff. Anything really PVA glue related. And that is it in terms of purchases. So yeah, quite a few this month, and a few others I got planned. Like I say, I want to buy a couple more F-35s, I think, for the stash as well, especially getting them a good price. Work in progress, really just the F-35. So I finished Tornado, which we'll talk about in a minute, and the F-35, not really started too much. I've started like section 4, which is the nose gear bay, and literally all I've done is painted and primed and painted the sections right here. Nothing really to show. I did slot it all together like on the video Tamiya released. It does fit together really well, but it's not the video. There's some trickery there because I mean it just falls apart with no glue. Obviously, you know, they put the whole thing together with no glue and showed it. I don't see how that happens. This fits together perfectly well, but as soon as you move it around, it just falls to pieces. So obviously you need to glue it together. Got to do some detail painting on this. Like I say, I got the main thing primed up, ready to go. Now ready for some detail painting, all these little boxes and stuff. The instructions are really good, really clear. So starting with the front end here, and this will be part of my part number 1, which go on my Patreon, as I mentioned, my build series, and just go from there. I'm not too sure. I've not built a F-35 and 48 scale before, so I'm not sure exactly which way I'm going to go, but as most of you know, I kind of build in subsections and then bring it all together. So like I say, I'll probably, from here, the weapons bay is mega detailed. That's going to be a whole bunch of work and a whole video right there. Probably just do show the weapons bay, detailing, painting, that kind of stuff. But really liking it. I mean, that's this and a nose gear. That's as far as I got in about a week. Because like I said, I mean, super busy, getting ready for Christmas and real life stuff. Hopefully, I'm off work this upcoming week, so I'm gonna really get into this and get going on this one if I have time and work on it and get this one done. That's my in progress. What I finally finished Tornado, which I don't think we talked about. I think it was in progress last time. Now it's finished. It's right down the shelf. I don't want to take it off the shelf and risk breaking all pieces off. So I'm just going to do, as tradition, throw in a quick little video of it being outside amongst the leaves, and you can see better there. But the kit was really cool. I kind of stuttered. I started about a year ago and then didn't have decals. So I'd ordered from Revell, put it on hold, got back into it about 2 or 3 months ago, and thought I'd do a little bit more, and I just ended up finishing the whole thing. So great subject for me. I love the Tornado and a great kit. It was just really enjoyable. I really liked it. It's just great value for money. I think I bought it for like $40 a couple of years ago. Now we're about 65. Managed to swap decals with somebody. So as you know, I obviously did the wraparound camo rather than the Desert Bay version, and just really enjoyed it. There was no issues. I threw in some resin quick boost seats. So resin quick boost seats. I put in a master pitot tube. They're like a couple of bucks. The metal pitot tube was way better. I did use resin exhausts because I had them. I wouldn't necessarily use them ever again. If I was going to build it again, I don't think it's really worth it. Resin exhausts, pitot tube, seats, and really just the mask set. I used, I don't have it here, but one of these kind of type aero masks from Jim Sorensen. I used the one from him, and that made it a little bit easier with the camo and stuff. Makes painting so much easier, those masks. So I used the mask set for the paint, and also a canopy mask. And that was pretty much it, but really happy how it turned out. It's no real major issues with it. The only flaw I'm thinking about now is, typical me, I put the no step stencils on the wings backwards. I don't know why I did that, but I got them on there and I clear coated it. I thought, I've no desire to sand them all off and put new ones on. I'm just gonna leave it as is. On the shelf there, it looks perfectly fine, and a great addition to my collection, my 32nd scale collection, which is pretty expansive now. You know, you can't see the top shelf, but above that there's another shelf, and some pretty cool subjects on there. So yeah, so that took a lot of time, a lot of effort to get that together, those 32nd scale aircraft. But I found, as I mentioned all the time with it, if you build out the box, it goes together pretty well. A little bit filling and sanding here and there, but if you try to add a bunch of resin to it, that's when it all kind of puts the tolerances out and makes the build just complicated and kind of a bit of a bear. So yeah, that's my finished build, the Tornado. So really happy with that one, and didn't do a build series, but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What else? So yeah, so let's talk about next year. When I looked at this time last year, I did my predictions. I want to do several aircraft. I wanted to do unusual kind of camo patterns and stuff, and that's exactly what I did end up doing. I didn't build so many as I did in previous years, but I guess it's more quality over quantity, and bigger projects like the 32nd scale Vegan. So you know, I think the year before I churned out about 20-25 finished builds. I think this year I was around about 11. I think it was, or 10 or 11. But yeah, so next year I want to continue basically same as what I'm doing now. I'm going to have a couple of 30-second scale aircraft to do. Well, obviously when I finish the F-35 here, I've got the couple of 48 scales I want to work on. I've got the F-15C with some aftermarket, the Great Wall Hobbies kit I'm going to do. I've got the MiG-29 Great Wall Hobbies 48 scale I'm going to do in the Myanmar markings. 30-second scale kit's a big build for next year. It would either be, I'm looking here in the stash, I probably won't do the GR.4 Tornado, so I just did a Tornado. So I'm probably going to do I've got a kit, I've got two kits, one kit in particular in my stash I'm looking up here, which I'm just holding back because it's like one of those kits I really want to do a great job on, and it's one of those things to keep in my stash and just really kind of prize collection, and that's the Academy 32nd scale F-16I Sufa, the Israeli one. I've got all the Black Dog resin for it. I've got a ton of stuff, and that's going to be probably coming up next year. If not, I'm going to do the 32nd scale Tomcat, the Trumpeter F-14D. So I love my Tomcat. So one of those two will be done. Those aircraft, a couple pieces of armor maybe. I keep looking at maybe the piece of interior. I've got a ton of interior kits, like I'm looking at the T-72 amusing hobby 35th scale with interior. I've got the maybe a Tiger 1 rifle models. I got an Abrams with full interior, King Tiger, several things. So I'm gonna split it up, and then obviously more kits will be out. As we go out throughout the year, more kits will come out and that kind of stuff. And also I've got all the cards as well. So at some point I'll get a card done as well, probably. But my focus right now, my enjoyment's all in the aircraft. So that's what we got going on. And once again, I think I'm to keep with cool markings because doing gray over and over again gets a little bit tedious. So it's really nice to do the aggressive markings and interesting camo patterns and different countries and that kind of stuff. Cool, so that's that part done. I think all's left to do is let's look around the Facebook group. So let me switch the camera, switch to me on the computer. Let's look at some people's work, and we'll come back and wrap this up. All right, so as always, looking around at the group, five subjects I picked out, which caught my eye in the past 30 days or so. And the first one was Chris and his 48 scale Revell B1B Lancer, and it's a beast of kit. I know it's massive. I've seen the real thing at the Wright Patterson Air Force Museum and walked underneath it, and the aircraft is huge in real life. At 48 scale, it is equally huge. It's a dining room table size of an aircraft. So here you can see starting work on the cockpit tub. Looking good. Unfortunately, it looks like a lot of that you're probably not going to see once it gets all buttoned up, and not, as often the case, with these things, a lot of detail you never see once you get them all together and clear parts in. Okay, looking to make some adjustments here by looks of it. Take care of some seams. So some resin parts. Got the razor saw out. Intake trunking, should I say? And there's a rotary tool. Looks like more surgery going on this. Adding some detail parts. Or maybe just painting the cables. I'm not sure. I think just painting some of the internals here. Some priming. Some more details. Looks adding some wiring, some more details, some scratch building. The old Florida model's dark dirt. Well, actually, yeah, I think it's dark dirt wash. And you see it's looking really awesome actually the inside there. And back to the beginning again. So really great work. Can't wait to see that one come along. And again, that's a beast of an aircraft. 48 scale. That is huge. All right, Ivan's next with the Airfix 48 scale Buccaneer. So I'm just glancing over here. It used Edward PE seat belt harnesses and Mars set. Added some straps to the intake fold covers from the spares box and 3D printed the plaque. This is another big aircraft. Obviously nowhere near as big as a B1, but in 48 scale it's a pretty solid lump. I really like the colors on this one. You can see some modulation between the panels, especially the back here, looking really cool. And yeah, I didn't buy this kit myself because I'm holding out for the Air Force variant, which I'll do in Desert Storm markings when it comes out. I think maybe 2023. But looking cool. I like the 3D printed plaque as well. Moving along, again, looking really good. The fog covers and some engine detail. Very nice.
and the underside. Very cool indeed. Very nice build. Really like that one, and definitely like the colors and techniques used there. Next up, we're going to look at Robert Adams and his Tacom 16th scale Jeep. This is definitely one on my list to build in 2023. I've got this one in my stash, and I think if you saw my recent video with new kit releases, so I think it's Soul Models have brought out a set of 5 resin figures for this as well, for this particular kit. So let's take a look. Working on the engine here, some great detail. Looks a really awesome kit. Jeep in 35th scale is just really small, so 16th is really a nice size for this. Yeah, beautiful detail. Very cool. Indeed. Next up, the fourth one, Richie Lamb, and he's working on the 35th scale Tacom 432. I've actually built the 72nd scale version of this one Tacom brought out. Great kit, British Army APC, and he used AK mud effects for the first time, and AK pigments and other weathering. Cages are dry fitted to see how they look. So let's take a look at this one. Just one picture, but yeah, looking really cool. I love it, the 432. And finally, Stephen, he just I think recently joined. Here's my latest build, the 48th scale Edward A6M2 Type 220. Looking absolutely stunning. So welcome to the group, and wow, I love the base. I think that's Coastal Kits possibly, but just the aircraft, the weathering on that, and as they say, great builds. You can never really tell scale, and I mean, looking at that, if you weren't looking at the cutting mat around it, it'd be hard to tell if it was 32nd, 48th, or what the scale was. But really nice, just nice colors, color contrasts, and weathering on what looks a very nice kit. I'm looking here, all the beautiful detail, all the rivets back here. Looks a really nice kit. Very nice. Again, beautifully weathered, and looks awesome on that little display base. So there we go. So thank you everybody for contributing and posting your work. I look to do the same. As many updates as possible I will include and showcase some of you guys' work, because again, it's all about giving back to the community. So thank you everybody again, and let's go back to me.
So there we go. That's it. Pretty much done. Short and sweet today. Thank you everybody always for your support. This channel's grown immensely, especially the last few months. I mean, I've gone from a few hundred extra subscribers a month to some point over 1,000 a month. It got to one stage, and it's climbing. I mean, right now projecting to hit 10,000 around about spring, summer next year, and it's unbelievable. My goal is always. I always set goals. My goal was actually hit 5,000 by Christmas this year, at the start of the year, and I hit 5,000 before, I think, for Halloween. So we're gonna be up over 6,500 by Christmas, and it's pretty awesome. So thank you everybody for your support. Really appreciate all your comments, kind comments. I try to respond to many comments I can, and most I do. It's more of a generic comment. I just heart everything, because sometimes I don't have time to respond to everybody. But if any questions or so, always put them in the Facebook group too. That makes it a little bit easier, and other people can answer as well. But yeah, channel's really growing. Really appreciate your support, and really enjoy building these aircraft models and showing what my work and sharing my work with everybody. So have a great holiday season, great new year, and I'll see you in 2023. Bye.